It's the Have a Heart Wish-a-thon for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it's a little different this year. No roadblocks, so our online giving and our phone banks are so important today. Call 933-8800. You can also text WISH to 77,000 or visit wishathon.org. That's going to take you to our landing page where you can donate online. And if you are used to giving at a specific roadblock location, and we love you for that, because I'll let you in on a little secret. Our roadblocks bring in about 90% of the money we raise each year during the Have a Heart Wish-a-thon. So because we're not able to do that this year, we're really going to need you to embrace the technology. And I'm hoping that because of the last almost year now that we've been living in this virtual world, you can access that. Text WISH to 77,000. We'll send you a link. Pick up your phone. We've got a lot more people on the phones this year than ever before at 933-8800 to help make wishes come true. I've been looking forward to this interview because I have had the privilege and honor of knowing this woman since 2002. I was her wish granter along with Dana Johnson, and now she has joined us as a wish granter herself. Please welcome Miss Kendra Street. Hi, Kendra.
Good morning.
Miss Kendra is a teacher now, but a long time ago, she was a high school senior at Duke High School. And that was the first time that she and I met. And actually, you came here to the Jonesboro Radio Group, and we actually did your interview here. How much of that do you remember? That was 2002, and it's 2021 now.
I actually remember quite a bit of it. I mean, I remember walking into the meeting room, and I also remember the look on your face when I told you what my wish was, because it wasn't what you had expected at all. And I remember drawing the picture. I mean, I even remember what the picture was that I drew. You know, towards the end of our wish interview, we always ask our wish kid to draw a picture of what their wish is. And I remember doing that.
So tell everybody what your wish was. Okay, keep in mind, I have this 17, almost 18-year-old senior girl, and I'm thinking she's going to want to go on a trip. She's going to want to go on a shopping spree or have a room makeover. And what did you wish for, Kendra?
I think you and Dana were super pumped to go on a shopping spree with this 17, 18-year-old girl, and I broke your hearts by wishing to meet the Atlanta Braves.
And I said,
yeah. It wasn't quite what y'all expected, but yeah, that was my wish, was to go meet the Atlanta Braves.
And there was a particular player that you were interested in, right?
I really wanted to meet Chipper Jones, and Javi Lopez was the other one I really wanted to meet. They had told me that I just wouldn't get to meet Chipper Jones. They said he just doesn't come down and do that type of thing. So when he walked through the door, I didn't say anything. I just stood there. So I didn't get to end up meeting him. I didn't get to meet Javi Lopez because he wasn't at the field for the game yet when I did my meet and greet, but I did get to meet Chipper Jones.
Awesome. So we, the great thing about teenage wishes is they throw you for a curve, and they're hard to surprise. So I'm going to go back just a little step. Sorry, I just knocked the microphone. I'm going to go back a step to the point where you found out that your wish was going to be granted, because we pulled a fast one on you.
Y'all did good. I mean, I had no idea. As a matter of fact, my mom and I got into an argument over what I was wearing because it didn't matter. I mean, my friends were going to be in like regular teenage jeans and a t-shirt. It wasn't allowed for me that night. I had no idea why. So yeah.
So you showed up at your senior, it was the what did they call it? The senior slideshow.
Yes, it was senior night where our family was invited. We were, it's immediate family only, supposed to be. And so when I walked in the auditorium, there was an entire row of my family. I was like, listen, I'm here, I'm graduating. It's not that big of a deal, but it really was a big deal, one, that I was, had made it that far. But I didn't know. Everyone else apparently knew that I was getting my wish granted that night. So what it was our senior night, where they literally take videos from birth up and share of each child. And then, which at Marmaduke, you don't have that many, so it's able to be done. And then towards the end, it's just pictures from our school careers together. And it's always a really, really special event for the seniors to get to share that together and reminisce on some of it preschool up kindergarten through senior year. So it was a big deal, and it was super special to me. Because at the end of it, there was a screen, and I mean, I still remember it, and it said, but that's not all. And then it said, pack your bags, Kindergarten. And it scrolled to the next screen, and it said, your wish is granted. You're headed to Atlanta to meet the Braves. And so I had a camera in my face, and I didn't understand why at that point. My, at the time, boyfriend beside me, now husband, was crying, and I had no idea why. And so it took me a few minutes to realize what was going on. So that was perfect for me, because coming from a small school that I, was graduating from, my peers experienced my cancer journey with me. And so to get to share that with them, it was perfect. You couldn't have done any better to surprise me on that. So it was wonderful.
Great. I remember that day, and I remember we walked out and you're like, what are you doing here? That's always so fun, because little kids are easy to surprise. Teenagers, not so much. You're a little nosy. You're a little, and so after you went on your wish, and thank God you've done so well. You've been healed from cancer, and I remember talking to you, and you said, as soon as I get old enough, I'm going to be a wish granter, and you made true on that promise. I remember that when you've got to sign up to be a wish granter and do the training, your mom also signed up as well. So talk about your journey to becoming a wish granter and how that's affected your life as an adult now, being able to go back and give back what the organization has given to you over the years.
So I'm trying to remember that. I think mom may have actually signed up wish grant wishes first. And I think I would just kind of, tag along as she would go, because I knew that was my future. That's what I wanted to do. So as soon as it was possible, I definitely, I signed up for training, and I went, and it's just been, it's so hard to say what it means, because it's a huge impact on my life. And I knew that what Make-A-Wish had done for me. It wasn't about going on this trip just to go have fun. It was about going on a trip as a family, because my family, they had to experience lots of changes as well. My parents had to work. There was no way for them to take me. When you have 34 chemo treatment or radiation treatments back to back every day, there's no way for them to take off work every day. So the community really came together to, they would take me, friends and family would take me, church members would take me. So that was, as a parent now, I don't know how my parents were able to just do that. And it was so hard. We'd had that conversation later. It was so hard to send me to a treatment that they weren't able to be at. So my family needed that break. I have a sister who, I remember the night I found out I had cancer, and I went to her room to say something to her, and she was actually sitting outside just bawling. So it's an emotional toll on everyone. And so my family needed that too. We were able to go and just experience that on its own. Now, my sister wasn't quite as excited as I was. She was more excited about the shopping, but she was, and the thing was, I had said, there's an age limit for your siblings. Once your siblings hit a certain age, then they're considered the adult and not really sometimes allowed to go on that wish. And I'd said, she doesn't go, I don't go. And so my sister was able to go with me for sure.
She did that. Very adamantly. My sister doesn't go, I don't go. And I'm like, well, we've got to make sure she goes. I think you said it best when we talk about it, not just impacting the wish child himself, but the family. But in your case, it impacted your entire community. Yeah. And it continues to impact your entire community as you have led the charge in making sure that wishes get granted to children here in Northeast Arkansas. Your school has been incredibly active. Kendra is now a teacher at Marmaduke, at her alma mater. And so
I teach in my the classroom I was in third grade is now my classroom.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. I just love, this is such a God story, because, none of it probably made sense at the time. And now you look back and you go, oh, that happened because this was supposed to happen. And all these things have been orchestrated before we ever even know what's happening.
I had said in the beginning, that was the night I was diagnosed, I remember saying, God's got a reason. And I knew there was a reason. I didn't know. I would have never, if you would have told me then that everything that I've been able to participate in, the things that have happened in my life because of this, I would have never believed you, because it's an amazing testimony, and I've had to learn to share that, because it's not about me. It's about what God has done through me, and it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. You've got to do some unique things. Let's talk about being on 60 Minutes. Let's followed around with a camera crew for a while. That was fun.
That was amazing. That was so amazing. That was just one of those things where it was amazing for me to, not only did it talk about what we did as a chapter, it talked about what we did as a community. And then I got to showcase my pride and joy. Margaret got to be featured on there as well. And that was it's great, because then we can show America what us small town communities can do through just a few people. And our school's really stepped up and done well. And they have gotten to share the power of Wish, but they've gotten to experience, because several of our students have been able to receive a wish through Make-A-Wish. And getting to meet and become a part of Caden's family was huge. They still mean so much to us today. And then just getting to share my journey from cancer patient to Wish kid to Wish granter was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very unique story, and I never get tired of telling people about it and hearing you talk about it, because it just seems to just keep getting better and better and better.
I'll never forget when he called and said, "So we did our interview. We told him about our story with you, and hey, would you care if they call and talk to you?" And I'm like, "Okay, it's a phone call. It's gonna hurt." And a phone call led to an interview that led to a sit-down interview. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
It was amazing. And I still, to this day, and Dana Johnson, who was also part of that, I remember her calling and saying, they want to talk to us. And I was like, they're going to talk to everybody. They're not going to choose us. And little did we know, we had little faith that, well, I did. I admit I was the naysayer. And I was like, they're never going to pick us. They're never going to talk to us. And look what happened. And these amazing people came from New York, and they followed us around. They met our children. They saw our community's heart. They saw what was happening, and were able to put that on a platform that we could never have done without it.
They did an amazing job. And that's when people say stuff about it. That's the first thing I say is 60 Minutes did an amazing job. They saw what we do. They saw the heart behind it. They saw the relationships that we have, and they nailed it. Every bit of it. They did a phenomenal job on that. And we still have those relationships with them today, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. It's so neat to hear from that team, just to see how we're doing. And Kendra, we're not able to do our roadblocks this year, and that's going to be a challenge for us. As I started on the interview, about 90% of the money that we raise with Make-A-Wish on this day is in buckets of change. It's in wadded up dollar bills and little tiny grubby hands who are like, "Mommy, I'm going to take this to the bucket." And these kids and families who it really does significantly impact their finances for the week, because they're giving this money that they really need to pay bills with. And it's always amazed me that I feel like the people who can give, can afford to give the least, give the most.
Absolutely.
And that sacrifice does not go unnoticed. I hear people, they're like, "How in the world do you guys raise $400,000 a year?" And I'm like, one penny at a time. We don't have ginormous corporations who say, "Well, I'm going to give you $100,000." We have been blessed over the years to have sponsors come up and want to sponsor an entire wish, which is about $8,000. Yes. And we have schools. And unfortunately, with COVID and the snow, our school fundraisers have been just knocked down to a minimum. But every person that's asked me, like, "Oh, we're not going to be able to do as much." And I'm like, every penny counts. We say that every year. If we get $1, it's more than we had yesterday, and we'll take it and we'll be grateful for it, and we'll make good use of it. So what we've done for our roadblocks, so if you're typically used to giving in Paragould, which you would normally see Kendra, you can text the word Paragould to 77,000. We'll send you a link, and your donation will go into Kendra's roadblock. And so each of our roadblock captains are so competitive, and I love the passion. I love the trash talking. It's all in good fun and faith. And if you just go to wishathon.org, you can scroll down on the page and you'll see Jonesboro roadblock, Red Wolf, specific roadblock locations to make a donation. So Kendra, what would you say to someone right now thinking, well, I don't have a lot to give, it's not going to matter. What would you say to them?
Every year we have people drive through and they'll just hand us whatever's in their cup holder and their change jar. And they'll say, I'm sorry, it's not much, but it's all I have. And that's all it takes, is just a little bit. It doesn't matter. I mean, your penny means as much to us as an $8,000 check. And I know that there's probably people thinking there's no way, but it really is, because that penny adds to another penny and it eventually gets to $8,000. Mm-hmm. So we honestly, when we say we don't care what you give, we really don't care what you give, because it all goes to one mission, and that's to grant the wishes of children with life-threatening illnesses. And it all means the same to us. So if you have a penny, we'll take your penny. If you have a $5 bill, we'll take your $5 bill. We don't care what it is. We need it, and especially need it right now.
Yeah, especially this year for sure. So my question is to you that are listening and watching, what would you give for a child that you love to make their wish come true? I mean, really think about that for a minute. Think about how would you help them fight a critical illness? I mean, what lengths would you go to make that happen? Every single one of us, we have the power to make stars align, because when we all come together, I mean, hope and joy will shine through. It will. It will. And we need stars like you to line up and make these donations. We've got a bunch of people ready to answer the phone, 933-8800. They're out at Embassy Suites right now. Hey, guys and gals, thank you for doing that. You can text WISH to 77,000. We'll send you a link to donate online. Go to wishathon.org to donate. Like I said, you're not going to see the buckets on the side of the road this year. It's just not happening. But wishes can't wait. Not COVID, not old man winter. Nothing is going to stop us from making wishes come true today. We don't have a choice. We got to move forward. We got to go the distance today to make these wishes come true. Make the phone ring, 933-8800. You see it on your screen. Text WISH to 77,000. And I'll say this for Kendra. Kendra, pop her back on the screen here for a second. Go ahead and give them a plug for your roadblock.
I'm just saying, we have a big goal and we are doing good so far. But if you get on there and just, Paragould would love to take your donation.
Yes, they would. Thanks so much, Kendra. You know how much I love you. You're a part of my life. I think of you as my other daughter, and I'm so proud of all the things you've done. And this girl's a girl. She's a person of her word. She's a woman of faith. She's a wonderful wife and mother, and a dear friend to me. And I'm so blessed. And I'm trying not to cry right now, but I am so blessed to have you in my life. Thank you for sharing your story. I love you.
Love you.
You can stop now.